Welcome to another YouTube video, guys. Today, I've decided that I'm going to be running the YouTube channel a little differently, okay? So as some of you guys know, over the last 4 months, we've pivoted completely into building AI companies and pivoting our processes, our systems around growing companies. For those who don't know, clientacquisition.io was built on this idea or this thesis that the best thing you can give to an entrepreneur, a company in order to scale is every single variable mechanism needed to create the inputs that create the outputs, aka the success that they desire, okay? That's how I stopped running my done-for-you agency, because I realized that even if I can book appointments for this founder, they're still incapable of truly bridging the entire gap of this journey that they need to go through. So I decided that, okay, cool, well, what if I went on their behalf learning what their market wants better than they know how to find it, or maybe they're not as disciplined as getting these insights, figure out the right way to position it, figure out the right traffic generation method, figure out the right systems to nurture and convert this attention into money, okay? So then instead of selling just one service, I would sell multiple variables into one infrastructure. That single pivot of doing that made me millions of dollars, right? Over 8 figures in literally less than 2 years, okay? But now, with AI, there's this idea that not only could I keep running the same business model, but I could actually build agents, agentic workflows. And instead of just getting someone to own this infrastructure, I could actually put agents, employees, technology that actually does the work on behalf of my clients. So not only do I bridge the entire gap of knowledge, but I also bridge the gap of work, of units, of calories expended within that business, right? That's what we've been working and doing for the last 4 months. We've onboarded a lot of companies. We're now in so many markets, but now we're dealing with problems. And one of the things that I thought would be really amazing for me to do on YouTube is document the problems that we're encountering. Because unfortunately, this AI world is so noisy that people are putting things out there and positioning AI as if it's like this opportunity to literally make money without working, as if it's easy. I'm gonna tell you this. We're launching so many companies into so many verticals, and markets that would normally be okay giving you 7,000, 10,000, 15, 20 grand and throw it at you as if they're buying candy are now showing resistance. Do you know why they're showing resistance? Because they finally realize that a lot of these AI solutions, these single use case tools, are commodities, okay? So now what I'm about to do, I'm gonna get on my computer and show you guys this new thing that I'm working on, or that I've released to our clients, which is the system around in a market that is saturated. How do you stand out? Because funny enough, AI has only been around for the last, let's say, good proper AI use case have only been around, let's say, for the last 12 months, and the market's already becoming numb. So I want to start a series where I share obstacles that we're facing, that we're encountering, because it's not la la land. It is actually building a company is really hard, regardless if you're doing it and you're selling AI offers or not. So I'm going to start this series where every single week, every single day, I'm gonna literally be documenting. It's gonna be as raw as possible. And I'm not gonna keep the fluff. I'm not gonna be doing none of that. I'm just gonna be telling you guys, hey, these are the problems and this is how we're going about solving it. And essentially, I'm gonna start documenting. If you guys end up liking this type of content, please comment, show love. And if I get good feedback, I'm gonna start doing it every day, okay? So you guys tell me. I'm tired of doing this cinematic content, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm a content creator, but I'm not a cinematic, keep it classy, look good. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to run a business. I'm trying to build and scale companies. And you cannot do it while looking cute, okay? So let me know if you guys don't mind the raw content, boring bullshit like I was doing it in 2021 when I would just jump on Lucy charts and do my thing, okay? But let's jump in the camera into the screen, and then let me walk you guys through what we're cooking up, okay? Love you, bye-bye. As I was saying, one of the biggest bottlenecks that we're encountering when launching these AI offers, these AI growth solutions into the market, is that we're encountering saturated markets that normally would be happy to give us 10, 15, 20 grand after a simple 35, 45 minute sales call, that are now becoming a little bit more hesitant. Okay. And one of the things that I've learned in business from having made millions and millions and millions of dollars in competitive markets, I've realized that the solution is that you should never fight with the prospect. You should never try to prove your value. It's almost like in dating, when you're trying to prove someone like why you're worth it, it almost turns into an ick, right? It almost repulses the person when someone is so clingy and trying to say, "Oh, but I'm the best option for you. You should marry me because I care about you and I've done so many things for you." It almost actually behaves as a turnoff, and that's the thing that you should avoid when launching your AI company or your AI offer, right? You need to create a new category and provide them with fresh lens that makes them feel like they're seeing the world and their problems for the first time. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm also documenting this is because I know a lot of clients will be watching our YouTube channel more than they will actually see some of the releases that we're doing in the program. So my goal is I'm going to be documenting what we're solving so that even our clients, our partners can also see what are the new updates that we're cooking up in the program. Okay, so now, why is this happening? I want to explain something. AI has just been around for the last, actual AI use cases that can actually deliver, right, have been around for the last 12 months. Why are we already getting saturated, right? We have one new client who started working with us because he wanted to license some of our AI solutions. He's selling AI voice agents and, infrastructures into the Spanish market, but he's already in the Spanish market, not even in the English market. We already know that English market is getting super competitive. Everybody's launching AI. Everybody's screaming on top of their lungs that AI is the new way to get rich, right? So there's competition flooding the market like never before. But in the Spanish market, how is there already competition? Okay? And the thing you have to understand is because AI lowers the barrier. It's so low that it makes it impossible for us not to have competition. But the way we stand out is by learning to play the game of business better than the people who only care about the AI tools. Okay? So here is what I've built. I built this this category architect positioning operate kind of like OS, and it's this system that allows you to get into a market that you may have insights on or that you may not know anything about. And then I've prompted it kind of like how I go about picking insights into markets. So I've gone like just reprompted it, restructured it, tested it a lot of times, and kind of like restructured the wording and then resent it, like just done a lot of testing and retesting because I wanted to provide our clients with a system that allows them to think the way that I think in creating offers in markets that are super competitive. Okay. So I want to show you guys the 5 steps that I go through when I'm entering markets that are super competitive and how to actually create an offer that makes them feel like, oh my God, this is amazing. Okay. And the 5 stages are really simple. You need to introduce a new game. You need to create an enemy. You need to have truth bombs. You need to reset people's beliefs. And then you need to have a tangible new model. You cannot sell a system anymore. You need to sell a new way of living. And the last part is you actually need to provide an identity and position your offer or your system in a different way. Okay, so I want to walk you guys through how this GPT that I created allows me to, we're using this for a lot of our clients. I used it for a client who wanted to try, or no, customer who wanted to try out commercial real estate agents niche in the UK. We did one for a new client who wants to go after who's running a pressure washing business, who wants to sell an AI solution to pressure washing companies. I did it for other companies who are helping tutoring businesses. Did it for another client who's helping healthness and wellness experts, kind of like go to market, all that good stuff. But I want to do this exercise for anyone. So if you're going after realtors, this will be probably the best thing you can see, you can watch if you're actually wanting to go after realtors and sell them an AI solution or an AI growth solution. Okay, so check this out. So I said, hey, this is my niche. So all you need to do is literally give your niche, and then it will go and we'll go through this exercise. That means that your goal is to stand out in one of the most oversaturated, overpitched markets on the planet, where every week agents are bombarded with promises of more leads, better funnels, or the next script. To win here, you need to reframe the game they're playing and expose why it's not working and introduce a new system they've never seen, the one that speaks to their real constraints and make the old promises feel obsolete. Step 1. Realtors have heard 1,000 variations of get more leads. If you start with this promise, you blend in. Instead, you need to break their pattern recognition by showing them that what they think is the problem isn't. Okay? So the old game is generate more leads with better ads, scripts, or funnels, right? what everyone is selling is Facebook lead ads, cold outreach, CRM, AI, autoresponders, chat bots, follow-ups, video content for personal branding, lead gen as a service, right? All pushing the same thing, the same belief. If you had more conversation, you'd close more deals, right? The real constraint. Realtors don't need more leads, they need more leverage. Most agents already have CRM full of stale, cold leads. Their real bottleneck is follow through, not lead flow. Their system breaks as soon as 3 to 5 deals are in motion. They're stuck in the hustle hamster wheel with no compounding engine. They don't need another ad. They need a system that turns every contact into a compounding asset. So the new game that you will be kind of like introducing is this idea of a lead compounding infrastructure, where you go from lead generation to lead conversion and compounding. By compounding, I think it just means turn leads into more leads or turn customers into more customers. Okay, so leverage the people you already have to then maybe get referrals, right? Go from more ads to more leverage per contact, chasing to systemizing. You're not selling more leads, you're giving realtors a system that turns every contact into a revenue engine with AI-powered nurturing, reactivation, and invisible back-end workflows. This flips from volume to velocity and makes your offer feel like a weapon instead of another tactic, right? And then this kind of like architect GPT that I built will kind of like also give you, suggest you a name. So lead compounding OS, an AI-powered backend that turns every lead into 3 more deals without chasing, calling, or wasting time. And then it will go into step 2. It needs to create an enemy. Most realtors don't change systems because they've normalized the pain. They've accepted the burnout, drop-off, endless hustle as part of the job. To break that inertia, you need to create a villain, a belief system or model that they can rally against. Okay? If you do not give them an enemy, then they're just going to think that you're just the same as everybody else. Okay? So the old promise was just run some lead ads, follow up, and you'll close deals on autopilot. Sounds familiar? You know, here's our proven ad system. Convert cold leads with these sales scripts or with these appointment setting scripts. You just need to be consistent with follow up, right? Now here's what this old promise has created. A never-ending treadmill of chasing unqualified, uninterested leads. CRMs full of dead leads, automated messages that feel spammy, agents tied to their phone 24/7, burnout from chasing volume instead of leverage. It's a game of diminishing returns. More spend, more noise, less trust, because everybody's already doing this, right? The hidden cost. It trains realtors to become lead junkies instead of asset builders. They depend on third-party platforms, Facebook, Zillow. They have no system of warming, reactivating, or compounding leads. Every month starts from 0. They burn out or burn through leads fast. And you're going to call this enemy the lead junkie model, right? They're always looking for more leads, more appointments, right? You're not just selling an alternative, you're calling out the trap. You're calling out a trap, okay? Making your audience see this model for what it really is, a dopamine-fueled, fragile grind, and that keeps them dependent on platforms and vendors, okay? So then it's like, now that we know we've created the lead junkie model, so like the old way of doing things, now step 3 is we need to reset their beliefs, okay? So most marketing tries to convince. Truth bombs do the opposite. They make people realize something they can't unsee. Right? So as an example, one of the things that I like to do in my marketing is tell people, like some of the companies that we build, we're like, hey, there's no point in running an offer that the market does not want. The reason why we're embracing AI has nothing to do with the fact that we care about AI or that the technology is so life-changing. It is life-changing, but people don't care about that. What people care about is what they want. And right now, they want AI. So that's one belief. If I tell someone like, hey, here's all the companies that when we tried to scale their old thing, it didn't work, but as long as they pivoted to what was working, they just started making multiple 6 figures a year, millions a year, then you don't need to believe in my product to believe that that's true, right? Or this idea of having productized solutions that scale. Doesn't matter even if you have the right thing to sell. If your fulfillment is tied to your time, you will never get rich. Simple as that. Find me anyone who sells their time and who's rich. You won't find anyone. So these are like things that you can tell someone that are genuinely true, but that align with the thing you're selling. Okay? So check this out. You're not pushing an idea, you're pulling back the curtain, right? These statements reset beliefs, spark curiosity, and open loops that only your system can close. Truth bombs. You don't have a lead problem, you have a leverage problem. More leads just means more chaos if your system can't handle the follow through. Chasing cold leads burns trust faster than builds pipeline. Every generic message trains people to ignore you. If you disappear today, your business would vanish with you. That's not a business, that's a hostage situation. Top agents don't get more leads, and they compound every relationship. Growth isn't about volume, it's about velocity and depth. Automation isn't about replacing you, it's about replicating your best moves 24/7. The right systems let your past effort do future work. Okay? Now, let's go over what the actual model and system that we would be selling would look like in a market that is super saturated as real estate. So buyers don't trust vague promises, they trust systems. When you give your process a name, a visual flow, it builds instant clarity, authority, and desire, right? You want people saying, hey, this looks like a real system, not just another service pitch. The lead compounding OS, a 4-stage system that turns every contact into 3 more closings without chasing, cold calling, or ad fatigue. Here are the 4 stages. By the way, we have our framework around turning these mechanisms into process maps, into lucid charts. Like we can I can go over that in another video. But these are really the main 4 mechanisms variables that you should focus on in this offer, right? You should focus on converting, which is instead of capture, right? High quality lead capture with intent filters that with instant AI touchpoints. Right? What this does is it solves low quality leads and slow response. You need smart forms and segmentation, AI auto intros based on buyer and seller profile, pre-framed interest scoring. So instead of having leads and appointments show up on a realtor's calendar that are not vetted whatsoever, where you don't have context as to who is the most optimal person who will actually convert the soonest and actually be able to figure out collect data from these prospects as they come to and to be able to score these people, you're going to be wasting a lot of time with leads, and you're going to treat every lead as if it's the same quality lead. And this is why most people end up in this treadmill of going after new clients, because they've never been able to pinpoint who actually is the most valuable prospect. Okay? So you kind of like build this first system, capture leads, you have informs, collects data, and then you have, I'm not going to go over into some of the systems that we're building, but I'm going to try to share what we would do in this case, right? The second part is automated micro touchpoints that feel human, not spammy. And this avoids ghosting or lead decay. And the way that we've done this is we have a self-selling AI kind of like system where there is context inject within the follow-ups. So as an example, you essentially leverage the insights you got from the lead opting in the first time, right? And then over time, as you follow up with them, you're not just reaching out to them and say, hey, when are you ready to buy a home? Or when are you selling a home, right? You're actually providing more context, right? AI personalized check-ins, context aware messaging sequence, right? Behavior nudges based on intent, okay? Stage 3 is reactivate or revive. Wake up your dead leads with targeted reactivation plays, right? This has been amazing as a system, especially with AI. We have clients who are bringing in 6 figures just from a reactivation campaign into companies that have never reached out to the leads that they've had for the last decade, right? It's one of the best things that AI allows us to do. So time-based prompts, example, someone has been silenced in your pipeline for 90 days. Cool. Have a workflow that goes out there and reaches out, re-engages every single person. Just checking in, revive campaigns, contextual triggers, right? Price drops, market shifts, new offers launching, right? And then the last part is have the second mechanism you're going to need in your infrastructure is a system that creates referrals and that multiplies your current existing leads and prospects into more potential opportunities, right? Turn closings into compounding referrals and warm intros. So if maybe you're able to get someone to sell a home, then use that person to refer you other people, but do it in a leveraged way, right? Automated post-close workflows, testimonial and review capture, right? Leverage an AI that calls the person you helped to sell a home, say, hey, would you like to record a voice? Can we record on the call right there and then testimonial where you actually share your experience? And then we can take that audio recording and actually put it on, I don't know, maybe on the website or in one of the re-engagement campaign. Okay, a referral automation drip with value hooks, right? So these will be the 4 kind of like systems, right? How do you convert, collect quality data as the leads come in? How do you then re-engage them, or no, how do you convert them faster and avoid them ghosting you? How do you then reactivate their old pipeline? And then last one is, how do you turn their closed deals into more deals, potential opportunities? Okay. And then once you've done this, then you also have to help them reframe their identity of having a system like this. Okay. Markets don't buy features, they buy identity alignment. You're not just offering a better system, you're offering a new way to be a top tier agent without burnout. This step magnetizes the right people, repels the wrong ones, and give you headlines that cut through the noise. So you help them go from lead chasing, hustle independent agent to systems backed relationship compounding operator. And you essentially call out who this is for. This is for agents with at least some deal flow, but inconsistent pipelines, realtors tired of cold outreach and generic lead gen, people who want a compounding engine, not just another hamster wheel. Those ready to build infrastructure, not dependency. Who this is not for: brand new agents with no leads, list, or budget. Agents looking for done-for-you Facebook ads, shiny object seekers chasing the next hype, people who want adapt the systems or automation. Okay. And headlines could be like, hey, your CRM isn't dead. You just never had a system to revive it. Stop chasing leads. Start compounding them. The top 1% don't generate more leads. They leverage the ones they already have. Why lead gen is a trap, and what elite agents are building instead. How to turn every closing into 3 more without cold outreach or ad spend. Okay. So we're using this to essentially find insights into markets that, because you can leverage this. So what's beauty about this kind of like GPT that I built is that it gives you insights that even if you were to like come up with this, you wouldn't know what actually matters. This goes into, it's created from the mindset of, it's already a saturated market. Please help me discover how to actually communicate and position my offer so that I stand out even in saturated markets. Okay? It allows you to know what new game to create, how to create who the enemy should be, what beliefs, what kind of like assets or messaging that allows you to help people believe, almost like to reset their beliefs, helps you create a new model. And you can literally use this research to now build an AI growth infrastructure, because it stems from what the market is numb to. So that instead of just coming in and saying, oh, I'm going to sell AI voice agent, because if you try to sell them AI voice agent, they're just going to think that, oh, well, that doesn't solve my problem. That's just another lead gen, another appointment setting system, right? But if you sell them an entire playbook of how to be a real estate agent, then that becomes a better way for you to get them to give you tens of thousands of dollars. I think I have a good friend of mine who is now selling AI, and I think he just crossed like multiple 6 figures run rate in the past month. He was before just selling lead gen and Facebook ad, and now people are just loving his AI growth infrastructure. Okay, but I hope you guys found this helpful. If you are a client, please check the community, check Circle. We've uploaded this GPT. And then if you guys are interested in working with client acquisition.io, maybe have us help you launch your offer or help you install some of our AI growth solutions, then you can also click the link below and apply. We have our last cohort happening, ending in 9 days. Okay, love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.